Thank you, brothers and sisters. We have something hip that we want to present to you.
Yo, sound man, turn it up.
Beans.
Hey, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? It's your man, Wild Child, and this is what? Drop the Beat Podcast. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? To my left, one of Chicago's legendary, one of the more well-known DJs in this city, let alone this nation. I need y'all to help me welcome the one and only DJ Lil John. Lil John. What's up, Holmes?
What's good, man?
How you feeling, brother?
I'm all right.
It's
I'm in
good
the
to
hot
see
seat.
you. Yeah, hot seat it is, baby. We've been talking about this for a little bit, about a year.
Yeah. I remember
No.
when you started.
Earlier this year, because we did the first season earlier this year. Yeah.
Right. Remember we talked about that.
Yeah, man. So I'm happy to have you here, dog.
Happy to be here. I'm happy to be asked up.
Oh man, come on, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Why wouldn't I? So let's dive right into it, man. Who is DJ Lil John?
Well, let's see. How do we start?
From the beginning.
I don't know if I want to go back that far. But I can put it out there like this. Established in 1979. Funny thing is, I know you're looking like, what?
Yeah.
Established 1979. I got my first paying gig 1979. Loop Roller Disco.
Oof.
It
Jeez.
was on 95th and Eggleston,
Yes,
Holy
sir.
Trinity now.
Yes.
Ironically, Culpepper worked there too. We didn't know each other.
Really?
But he worked in the lounge next to it. So
Really?
it was- yeah.
Wow.
I knew his sister, Michelle. Shout out to Michelle Culpepper.
Wow.
Yeah. He had went away to the service, came back. Michelle was like, Lil John, who the hell is this Lil John? He a DJ, huh? Okay. But yeah, we eventually cooked up. But yeah, that was my first paying gig. I love to tell the story, man, because I ain't gonna lie, I was taking 45s in my classroom show and tell, and I was 10, dog.
Yikes.
5th grade. So
Yikes.
I could go back further, but let's just say, I remember I told my dad when I first started working at the Loop, right? And it was, I'm short, I'm a teenager. Wasn't getting no money.
Mm-hmm.
I was just happy to play. And they was like, well, we're going to make you like an employee. So I went up there skated 5 days a week. I had to pay. That was good as money right there.
I mean, at a shorty, yeah.
It was a barter situation. Told my dad, I said, yeah, I'm a professional DJ now. Here go my dad with a cigarette in his hand. How much you get paid? Well,
I skate for free.
I skate for free 5 nights, I eat for free. You ain't a professional until you get paid for what you do. He puffed on a cigarette again. My little young teenage ego was bruised. I was
Hurt.
like, man.
Destroyed.
Later, what he talking about, I'm still so I think it was a summer or two later. They saw I was serious with it.
Yeah.
And they actually made me an employee, and I got them put on payroll.
Nice.
Came home, was like, look, Dad,
Hey,
I'm a professional
Hey,
DJ.
Daddy, what you say again? Speak up, sir.
He gave me the head nod.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And you know what's crazy about that summer of 79? I have not had a summer off since.
What?
I have not stopped DJing.
70, 79, 89, 90.
45.
Damn.
45 years, y'all. And I'm proud of it.
Wow.
45 years.
45
It's insane.
years. What has kept you for 45 years?
Music is my life. Patti LaBelle said it best. Music is my way of life. But, to see your point though, I wasn't making a living off of DJing 45 years ago, per
Right.
se. But music really is my life. I got to the point where I was building kicker boxes. Well, started off building kicker boxes, then I made them a little bigger for DJs around the way, some that wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then people that just wanted the speakers that I built. Or I knew some local DJs who we all carried records back then. I learned how to build the record crates. So I was the builder. I've always had the mindset of, if there's something I can provide and fill a void, fill a need, I can get paid.
Makes sense.
That's kind of where I've been with it. I did all that. Some years later, I And you know what? I now know at this point in my life, 45 years later, this is what kept me was that man right there.
First and foremost.
Because I now know at this point in my life that this has to be my gift. I've had 2 9-to-5 style jobs my whole life. Everything else was roller rinks, record stores, radio stations. 2 9-to-5s. And I never did 5 years at one and 6 at the other. The other minus was at 11.
Yeah.
So that's what, 45 minus 11?
Jesus
34
Christ,
years
man.
of, man, listen. I know I didn't do
tough.
it alone.
That's tough.
And still relevant. That's the most important part.
That's the flex.
Man, that's the flex.
That's the absolute flex.
You do it.
That is the absolute flex. So being this long in the game, what is it that you look for when you get booked to go do an event?
I tend to ask questions. I don't just pop out, like that. I ask questions. I need to know about the age group, the clientele, the occasion.
Gotcha.
The location.
Yeah.
Those are the things I need to know before I jump in, Nowadays, I'm asking for the age group heavy.
Yeah.
This year alone, I've already done 2 weddings where the bride and groom and all the bridal party was like 29, 30. And I'm nothing wrong with that age group. I just don't have all of Glorilla's collection.
The Glorillas and the sexy reds.
I don't have all of those. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If I had them all, I'm not playing them all. That's not my lane, man.
I mean, and that's the beautiful thing. Yeah. I think that comes with knowing. That comes with time, knowing your lane, knowing what your will and will not do's are. So I get it as far as the newer dudes come in or newer females coming in. You got to do what you got to do to keep yourself working,
right.
Get your name circulated.
Right.
But long gone are them days for me and yourself.
When you get to a point in your career, you can pick and choose.
So let me ask this at this point. At what point did you know? I ain't gonna say I won't say you arrived, but you knew you had the option to pick and choose.
That's a good question. When did I know that? I want to say that was more recent than back in the day. I say that now because, that's a good question. When did I know that I could pick and choose? Well, just off the top of my dome, when I got a little older, that's when I knew I was going to pick and choose. To me, I'm always about looking out for the next guy. I'm always been that guy. I'm not the one that's going to clutch, or should I say, insecure about my own position. If I booked you to cover for me a couple nights somewhere, I'm not like, oh, snap, he finna wild out, I'm finna lose this job. I'm not that guy. I've never had that spirit. So I say that to say that if somebody tells me they want me to do a so-and-so's prom, I don't have that age group. I'll call Nafis, DJ Nafis. I'll call so-and-so. I'll call somebody that does that.
You honest enough to
Yes. I want my next guy.
Gotcha.
I want brothers to eat.
Okay.
I want brothers to work. I share and share alike. This must be when I realize I pick and choose. Because I'm not going out, let me get all these sexy red songs or all these, I got to get all this so I can do this prom. No.
Got you.
I don't want to be at a prom with this on my chin anyway. This is how I do it. And I ain't cutting it off.
Got you. So let's talk about coming up. Who did you listen to and who was inspiring to you as a DJ?
So there's 2 parts to that. One part is the radio part. So the radio part for me had to been Herb Kent, the cool gent. And more so, not because of all the other stations, because of that one station he did back in the day called WXFM. He played what they call punk out music. Let's just say Martin Circus, Disco Circus debuted on Herb Kent's show.
Yikes.
Rock Lobster debuted on Herb Kent's show, Blondie,
Yikes.
Rapture. Some of them joints, Soft
Yeah.
Cell, Tainted Love, those classics.
Yeah.
Herb Kent.
Word.
And people don't speak about that no more. Yeah, I mean, we love BMX, Saturday Night Live, Ain't No Jive, Chicago Dance Party. That's while they was on Saturday, heck, I was on Friday Night Audio back then. So
KKC.
Herb Kent, WXFM, he was that guy. If he dropped the beat on the radio, you was at the record store the next day. And let me tell you how sweet that was. Imports, etc. sponsored his show. So all them promos.
Oh, they was there.
They had the perfect marriage.
Oh my God.
We were lined up at Imports the next day trying to get them joints. There was not a better relationship. So Herb Kent was the one I listened to. I even mimicked him. I bought a Radio Shack mic. I mimicked him at the crib. I got an old picture of me doing it too.
Dang.
Now the other part of that's the radio side. On the street side of the club level, I didn't necessarily have somebody I looked up to. Well, let me correct that. So remember I told you 10 years old, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 10, and there was this young man named Troy Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
You're older than me, from Chicago. He's down south now, but because I already wanted to be a DJ at the age of 10, I had the records, but I ain't had a gear.
Mm-hmm.
He had the gear. I mean, he had the whole setup. But that was so long ago. He had 2 turntables, but no mixer.
What is it with everybody having turntables and no mixer?
Well, I mean, if you go that far back, and shall I date myself?
So so let me ask this: if they weren't using the mixer, what was they using? What is the head unit called?
Receiver.
Yeah,
That's what he was using. He had a Project One system. That was that other coveted system next to that Pioneer Chrome system. You already know. So my man, and it had phono 1, phono 2. So he would, and you couldn't hear it, but when the song was getting ready to go off, he just switched to phono 2. I already had the record queued up. So he was switching that, and I'm like, oh man. But I didn't know anything. I had never seen a mixer before. So my point is this.
I've seen that once in my life.
I saw it in a magazine and I couldn't afford it. So I'm 10 years old, impressionable.
Right.
So, and speaking of which, and I'm the oldest in my family. I don't have an older brother.
Oh,
so
word.
I
Okay.
adopted this man, Troy Montgomery, as my older brother.
Nice.
I wore my hair like him. Some of my clothes like him. I'm sure I got on his nerves.
He was
for a while.
copycatting for real.
I was, but I talked to him recently too, and dispelled the thought that I wanted to be a DJ like him.
Okay.
No, correction. I already wanted to be a DJ. He had the gear and I didn't.
Gotcha.
I wanted to have the gear like him, but I didn't want to be a DJ like him.
Okay.
So that was the person I looked up from that level. And then side note, because I'm a little older, I didn't have the same Frankie versus Ronnie theory in the house music that you hear about. I didn't have that. I heard Frankie. I heard Ronnie. I know them both. Knew them both. I went to hear Andre Hatchett more often than that during that time. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want no trouble, no smoke.
Hey, we ain't giving out no smoke.
No,
around
no
yet.
smoke.
Got it.
But I went to hear Andre Hatchett during that era.
Got it. So, give us the story of club life then versus club life, or the progression of club life, if it can be called progression. Because if you was to ask me, in my era of when I came through, late 90s, early mid 2000s was like a because they came to party with we came to party.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the more popular cell phones and all this became, the more they evolutionized, the worse the party got, in my personal opinion. But take us on a journey from club days then to what you see now.
So that's kind of easy for me. First of all, the whole house culture is just that. It's a house culture for real. Like there's a hip hop culture. There's definitely a house culture in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Culture meaning it was not just about the music or just about the DJ. It was a way of life. It was the way you dressed. It was the way you danced. It was a point. I was a dancer. I ain't never said that on record, but there was a point I was on the dance. Let me rephrase that. There was a point where I was on the dance floor. I'm not gonna say I was a dancer. Nah. So anyway, I didn't let that one out already. It's too late. Gonna leave that one on the edit floor, yo. No, seriously. But you're absolutely right. During the evolution of, let's just say, house music, because prior to that, my generation, we weren't necessarily clubbing to something else. You know, I can't think of a club that hosted like, in fact, I ain't gotta say I can't think of it. Hip hop wasn't here yet.
Okay.
So there was either R&B, which we can hear at anybody's house, or we can go out and hear house music at makeshift clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the clubs, because none of us were 21 yet.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Williams once said it, that the music house got its name from music that was played in people's houses and the house parties and all. You know, there's no argument there. I believe that there's more than one theory as to where the term house came from. And I'm not here to dispute that. What I am here to say is that he's right. If you didn't go to somebody's house to hear that music, you probably weren't going to hear it. Because they didn't play it in the clubs. There weren't clubs. There were bars.
Gotcha.
My parents were at the bars, for crying out loud.
Gotcha.
My daddy used to go to the family den, and I said, I ain't never going to family den.
Look at you now.
I'm there every first Monday. Shameless plug. But seriously, so there was a lounge scene, there was house parties, and then there was this whole house music movement. And when it came to that, we would rent out warehouses, hence Frankie's Warehouse, which was never actually formally called the Warehouse. I think it was U.S. Studios. Mm-hmm. We looked at it as a warehouse because that's what it was. It was like a big warehouse.
Right.
Hell, the playground was a big warehouse.
It was.
La Mirage used to be a car dealership.
Yes, it did.
So when it comes to the whole house culture, we would find a way to have these parties and go. Because we had nowhere else to go. Part of the reason why when we got there, we were coming out of our coat dancing already, ready to party.
Coming in the door.
In the door. So fast forward, progressive to now. So there's nothing against the progression of house music. First of all, it happened some years ago, 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That was 40 years ago for many of us.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us in our 50s, knocking on 60's door or in 60. Dancing up all night, coming in the door, taking off your coat, hitting the dance floor. That's not always a thing. That's just not it. It's just keep it 100. Some of us need to save our knees.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Nowadays, it's about, do they have any seating so I can sit down when I don't want to dance?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's evolution.
Okay.
So, but that's not just house music. That's everything. Stepper sets too. They looking for seating. They need to sit down when they ain't dance, you know. So, and then I said all that to say, from then to now, then I just told you we would rent out warehouses, restaurants. Sours was a restaurant by day. Sawyer, Sours. High school parties.
Mm-hmm.
Gym rooms. We would do it wherever we can, party wherever we could.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more like a phenomenon. Fast forward to now, there's 1,000 places to go, 7 days a week, and there's 10,000 DJs.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
So there's your evolution right there.
I
know you don't want to talk about that.
Jesus Christ. The amount of DJs that have increased just in the last 6-7 years alone is unreal. Mm-hmm. Unreal. And I mean, it's no knock. It's no nothing. But I think, and I had this conversation with somebody, I think it's almost like Anthony Edwards. A lot of the new dudes don't really respect the older dudes.
Right.
Like, y'all got to be crazy.
Right.
Y'all got to be crazy, right? I take complete solace in knowing that it's dudes, it's big wigs such as yourself, Farley, Nick Nonstop. It's big wigs in the house community that know me and respect me, even though I'm not part of that community. I cherish that. I love it. You know what I mean? Just the same way I give the same love back to you guys that's in whatever genre y'all y'all ride in. You know what I mean? So,
And that's an anomaly too. The fact that, for conversation's sake, that we embrace you. And
which
what I
is
mean by that is
crazy.
because, it's like steppers don't necessarily want to deal with house.
Mm-hmm.
House heads don't necessarily want to step.
Right.
So they kind of stay in their own.
In their own lanes and they own the corners.
Youngins come to a house party, you ain't playing no hip hop. For real, none. Can you plug my phone in? You know what I'm saying? It's just different.
Right.
So me knowing the turntables that you are, also knowing how you get down when you play, for me it speaks volumes just on your craft alone.
Thank you.
Because when you do what you do, no one believes that you ain't part of the house community. No one believes it. They're like, he don't play house. I said, what if I told you he's not a fan of house music, period? I mean,
kind of been keeping that away from this podcast,
I'm
but
teasing.
No, I lay it out there. Like I say it. Like, am I a fan of house? No, not really.
And that's fair.
Will I sit back and be like at the crib, like, hey, I want to hear, ooh, let me go get this new black coffee. No,
that's fair.
But don't get me wrong. When being paid and being put on that platform, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I don't like ratchet and trap like that.
As do I.
But I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
And I will call you
under certain circumstances. You know what I mean?
I will call you for that.
I'm not the ratchet and trap all night dude.
Right.
I'm gonna give you some, and then we gonna go ahead and get on up out of this, and we can get back to this music.
And to be fair, I got some of it. I have some of it.
Of
Stuff
course.
I like.
Of course.
But that's what I'm gonna do. But that's who I am, and that's who I've always been. First and foremost is about moving my dance floor.
Yeah.
But in order for me to effectively move the dance floor, what I'm playing has to move me.
Yes.
This is what's kept me, as you asked me earlier.
Yes.
I feel what I play.
Got you.
If I don't feel what I play, it's not gonna come across right.
Got you.
It's not gonna work. I must have my dance floor moving, unless I understand I'm in a bar and they there to drink primarily. But
right.
I'm still gonna change that. I'm gonna get in where I fit in. You gonna get up and leave that drink at the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what it is.
Let me take this moment to give you your flowers. Like me and Lil John have done House in the Park and Park Forest for the last 7 years. I think I missed 1 year.
I think so. I missed 1 year too.
We've been the longest tenured DJs on the list. And I have to say, every year, this dude shows his complete backside every year. Again, I'm not the biggest house fans, but I recognize talent. I recognize real good DJing when I hear it. And the command that you have at that event is
Thank you, sir.
Is top notch.
Thank you.
Top notch. You make it hard to follow you.
By design.
You know what I mean? You make the couple of times I've had to follow you, I've had to think. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that challenge. Even in that realm of house music, I appreciate that talent. That challenge. And again, giving you your flowers, dude. You've been one of the best DJs I've heard. I remember, and you probably remember this, you played Steve Maestro's Here I Come. I don't know where I was at in the spot. I ran dead up to you and was like, dude, what the F is that? Oh my, I gotta have that. And you played the living hell out of that joint at the Family Den that night.
Yes. Shout out to Steve Maestro.
Dog. You was on one that night.
Appreciate you, sir.
And I don't even go to house sets like that, but for whatever reason, I showed up there that night. I don't even remember why I was there. You murdered.
Thank you, bro.
God.
I've been in this renaissance mode over the last few years too. Thanks in part to people like this brother right here, because I had to follow him one night at Park Forest joint. I was like, okay, I can't do what he did. I probably could, but I gotta raise my game up just a notch more.
Yes, you did.
But that's what it's all about, dude. it ain't no fun if you on top.
And ain't
And
nobody really challenging.
nobody with you, right?
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
challenge. So when this man did what he did in Park Forest, which he was playing, then he went around the front of the stage, got everybody riled up like it was at a basketball game. And then when the beat dropped, he fist bumped up in the air and everybody was following. You swear we was at a rave in London. I was like, look at this dude. Yo, I got to play behind that. Oh, no. Dang.
Boy, please.
But you killed it. I mean, you do it anyway, but that day was something different, something special.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, because I've had my opinion about the onslaught of the dancing DJ.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't dancing. You were enjoying yourselves.
I was.
And the vibe, what you were doing, what they were doing, it was reciprocal. You felt it.
The energy was...
The energy, right.
It was
There's
rotating.
a difference between a dancing DJ and a DJ that receives and transmits energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this man was doing that day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I decided I wanted to do is fine tune that. I took a page from your notebook that day. I was like, okay, how can I do that? I'm not going to jump in front and I'm not going to do that because I definitely don't want to seem as if I'm doing what he's doing.
Right.
But my point is, through the recent years, I said to myself, how can I remain relevant as I continue on?
Mm-hmm.
And I think every 5 years I look back just 5 years on what I've done, where I've come, and what I can do different, or what I can do better, and what I can do to remain relevant. Because relevancy is important.
Yes, absolutely.
I can rattle off half a dozen DJs that ain't doing them. One of my DJ idols, Kenny Jammin' Jason.
Yikes.
Don't know where he's playing it now.
Really?
I'm sure he's probably playing somewhere, but not as much. And to his credit, I'm sure he's retired. He retired from the police force.
Okay.
So he might just play when he wants to, if he feels like it.
Got you.
But there's just so many DJs. Heck, even Farley, where's his residency? You know what I'm saying? Where's he playing on a regular? He's probably thinking like I'm thinking. Let me reinvent some things. Let me fine tune some things so that I can remain relevant.
Well, him getting that truck, first of all, was insane.
That was
move.
a heck of a move.
That was a super strong move.
Right. That was a power move for sure.
That was an ugly power move.
So, and that's where I think some of us veteran DJs, we have that mindset that is similar. In order to remain where remain relevant, what can I do? Mm-hmm. What can I do to do that? Otherwise, things change.
Got you.
Phone doesn't ring.
Right.
And this is what I do for a living. Mm-hmm. I don't have a job. I mean, I radio for 4 hours a day. That's not a job when you love doing what you do.
Yeah.
For a living. And I'm
Absolutely.
not working.
And now, I'm glad you brought up the radio to bridge to that. Mm-hmm. Explain the differences between being on the radio and being live in person.
First of all, it probably shouldn't be a difference. If you're a mixer on the radio and you mix live in person, there shouldn't be a difference.
Okay.
That's my opinion. It shouldn't be a difference. You should be just as dope at 5 p.m. in the mix as you are at 11:30 at night in the mix. You should be just as dope in both places.
Got you.
I don't care how much technology you got at your disposal. You shouldn't put yourself in a position where your mixes on the air sound hotter than you do in the club. Or vice versa. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be that. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know how else to speak to that question.
Okay. I mean, and I respect that. I respect that totally.
Now, I will say this though, to mix on the radio, it's something everybody can't do. I ain't talking about your blend skills. I ain't talking about your record collection per se. Mm-hmm. But with radio, it's all about the attention span. That's what it is. It's about that. Period. It ain't about what I got that you don't have. Music. It ain't about I got this new unreleased Janet Jackson I'm finna play. No, it's not that. Mm-hmm. It's about that listener who's in the car probably 10 minutes, and when they get in their car, they want to hear their song, the song they know, the song that they like. If you ain't playing some of those in your mix, they're gonna turn elsewhere to find it.
So is that part of what radio has taught you over the years?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a way to break music. But you shouldn't be breaking music for 20 minutes if your mix is 20 minutes long.
Right.
You shouldn't be doing that at all.
Gotcha.
I mean, and that's not just from what I learned when I was at GCI. That's something I already knew when I got to GCI, which has a lot to do with how I got the job. I understood the formula. Play the hits. Now let me backtrack. There was a time, me being a mixer on the radio, that when I got to a club, I played differently. That being is because at WGCI at the time, I was there from 01 to 09. And from 03 to 09, I held down the 5 o'clock spot. This is after Bulu, after Maestro. But because GCI was GCI, you had to play the hits. Now, I didn't have a playlist of what I can and can't play per se, but I knew that at 5 o'clock, people are in their cars trying to get home. And if I'm not playing the right song at GCI, Ferris might be playing the right song at 5 o'clock on Power, or whoever else my competition, Maurice Culpepper at the time might have been playing on V103. So it becomes a competitive game like that. So that being said, if I'm going to a club, I'm not necessarily trying to play all hits. So there's your difference.
Now, with your mixes, and I don't know if people know or not, do you do your mixes live or are they pre-made and then edited and chopped and whatever?
So in Chicago as a whole, for the last 25, 30 years, most of the mixes have been pre-recorded on almost every radio station.
Okay.
Just before I left GCI, a young lady named Chris Kelly, who was part of the program department in Detroit, JLB, I think, she came and she took over GCI. And the first thing she did was like, you guys aren't mixing live, why not? You guys got some of the dopest mixers. And then we were saying, well, this, that. And she said, would y'all like to go live? Heck yeah, we want to go live. Good. She said, we ain't going to deal with playlists and this and that. Just do what you do. They were all ecstatic. I was like, no. They were like, what do you mean no? No, because at the time I was the lead mixer. What I mean by that, I was the mixer coordinator. I did the 5 o'clock mixes. I actually had a juke mix at 8 o'clock. I was on twice on Friday night, late night, twice on Saturday, late night.
Oh, so that put you in, got it. That
Club
put you.
game went, I'm like, I can't do this. This ain't gonna work.
Got it.
They were like, man, I didn't think about that. Chris Kelly, God rest her soul, she said, y'all want to go live? We're going live. Because I asked her, I said, because my position is different. Can I go live during the week and pre-record on the weekend? You all want live? We go live. I'm like, oh, man. Now what am I going to do?
Ouch.
So, but shortly thereafter, I ended up leaving GCI. So I didn't have that problem that long.
Of course.
But yeah. So mixing live is fun, but that's part of the problem. It can cut into your revenue stream or your livelihood. So today, my mixes are pre-recorded. All of the mixes on 106.3 are pre-recorded. My sister station, Power 92, Ferris and Nathan's are mixing live in the studio daily.
Word.
Most people don't know that.
Word.
Yeah.
You're right. I didn't know that.
Ferris is like a little brother to me. That's my man. When they come to work and they do their mix live at 5, that man is in there on that big controller. What is that? The largest
SZ?
one? Yep.
Wow.
Yep. He's mixing live. Serato and everything right there. All the drops, everything.
Wow.
He's still using what's the name of that drop program in your computer that my mans and them came out with some years ago? You know what I'm talking about. He still uses that. They gave it to us when we was in Puerto Rico, one of them conventions.
Jesus Christ.
Is it something one? Nah. But yeah, that program.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're mixing live. I wouldn't mind mixing live, but like I said,
It just couldn't be on the weekends.
nah, can't be on weekends.
Got you.
So
Got you. Who are some of your favorite DJs to listen to? That's local. Let me.
good point.
Let me
point.
look.
I was gonna start local anyway.
Let me narrow that down because of course everybody. Oh, Jazzy Jeff, Kid Capri. Okay, I got it.
Locally, I've got a handful of DJs I like listening to locally.
Okay.
Mickey Calvin is one. I'm biased. That's my best friend.
Don't worry about it. That's my Corliss alum.
Melvin Gentry is another. My Leo brother. Beast. This guy over here that gives me a hard time in Park Forest.
Yo, what's up?
This guy. Shout out to my man's DJ Voodoo. He's a Hispanic guy. Nice with it.
Where is he?
Real
I
nice
haven't
with it.
heard his name in a minute.
Yeah, he's real nice with it.
Where he been?
Traveling a little bit, I guess.
Huh.
So, but yeah, he does a lot of corporate events too.
Oh, okay.
As do I. So
Okay.
we talk about that level, the mobile game. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's nice, man. And his people come out to hear him. He does his thing.
Nice.
He's been out of VIP with us a few times.
Oh, okay. Nice.
My adopted little brother, J Star,
Yeah.
who I got to give him his props, man.
Little Mikey Dunn.
Yeah.
That boy's, I remember first hearing him. I was like, my God. He sounds oh my God.
And when I met him, I forgot what's up. So you're J Star. And I said, I'm DJ Lil John. I said, oh man, I always wanted to meet you. I'm like, meet me?
Bruh.
As it turns out, as his parents, shout out to mom and dad, they tuned in to Mike and I on Friday Night's Club 106.3. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Little did I know a young J Star was listening too. So he was greatly influenced by what Mike Dunn and I were doing on the radio.
I think with him, man, to see him at such a young age, he embodies house just like the vets.
Because when I first heard him,
it was like, wow, dog.
I was like, who are your parents? Because I know you weren't born into this like that. But he plays it like he was spinning since the age of 5. House music. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
As it turns out, he's amongst a crew of people his age group. Not just DJs, but patrons.
Really?
So, speaking of Maestro, Steve Maestro and I were invited to play with him at his residency spot. I don't know if he's still there right now. I know the rest of his guys are. The Giant Pitting Whistle, I think it is, in Pilsen. Off 18th Street.
Yeah, I don't know if he is or not, though.
Yeah, so we were invited to play over there. Got there, and remember that part we were talking about how people come in, taking off their coats, running? That. They were coming in, running straight to the dance floor.
Really?
Some of them coat check and then ran to the dance floor.
Wow.
And none of them could have been over 30.
Wow.
And I was like, and all they were playing was house.
That's
not house and hip hop and all house.
That's cool.
I was like, house music still lives.
Dope.
It gave me the vibes of Red Dog, to be honest with you. And I can't say that about many places. Red Dog was a whole nother
I miss Red Dog
beast.
Though.
And I'm proud of
actually that whole little area up there though, from Milwaukee.
Yep.
What a Red Dog, Sub T,
Double Door,
Pages,
Izuli's, Cinnabar.
Oh my God.
It was all right there.
Oh my God.
And Mad Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an era, man.
Oof.
And I'm proud to say I was part of that.
Yes, sir.
In a big way.
I bet, boy.
11 plus years. Every Friday. Didn't want to miss it for the world.
That's nuts.
Oh man, so I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now. Unless you ask me some questions about it.
No, we ain't finna go that far down because I know we
need more time for that.
Yeah, definitely need more time. Definitely need more time. Couple more questions. We gone. DJ No Nos for you.
DJ No Nos. I can't say that I have any. I guess the reason being is, I can't say that I have any. Well, for me, my own DJ No. Give me one of yours. Maybe it'll jar something because I don't have any.
Don't talk to me while I'm trying to mix.
I have a whole conversation while I'm mixing.
Especially if I'm in the blend.
I will have a whole conversation with you. I could do this podcast while I'm playing at the club.
Oh, that's cool.
But I mean, and I'm not bragging. That's something I'm different like that.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, I played at roller skating rinks for a long time, and they were like, "Dude, ain't the record finna go off? Hold on." And back to the conversation.
Who the fuck?
I've always been like that.
Wow.
My own wife was like, "How do you even do that?" I'm like, "I don't know."
No.
So yeah, I don't have any real no-nos.
Okay.
People hang out in the booth.
I'm cool.
I know about that no.
Yeah, I'm cool. Any advice you would give to the next generation of DJs?
Pay attention to your dance floor. If that's what you came to do, pay attention to the dance floor. Not your crew that came with you. I mean, you might have 6 people with you, and they all got their favorite song. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure them songs move your dance floor.
Gotcha.
I just, I see some of those debates on social media. I snicker and I keep it moving. I scroll on. I don't even comment on most of them because that's just not my place, man. Social media it's all about people's opinions.
It's a rabbit hole. That's a
rabbit hole full of opinions.
Oh my God.
And everybody's got one, like as they say.
Like
So
tail holes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you're entitled to your opinion. That's what the phrase is. So I don't make any comments on social media about that stuff. But to the upcoming DJ, hone your craft, practice your craft, polish your craft, and move your dance floor. Don't let nobody tell you something different. Don't let somebody influence you away from something you believe in. If you like house music and all your friends like trap, let them like trap.
10 toes down. Stay
Right.
there.
Let them like trap. You can still rock out with them.
Yeah.
Luckily for you, they probably ain't gonna hang out while you playing house music. It might work out,
Right.
When you at home practicing, it might not. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, please practice if you need to. Got to get your practice in.
Yeah.
Practicing is not for when you get to the club, just because nobody's really there. Come on now. What I do when I get to a club early and nobody's really there, I'm the first one on. I'm in the residence, so I'm the 1st one on. I'm playing new music that I just bought, so I can feel it.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna run that again later if it passes the test.
Yeah.
But practice, I'm fortunate enough to say that I just told you I've been playing for the last 45 years. That's a lot of practicing.
A lot.
And I still practice when I play.
That's dope.
So
That's dope.
but yeah, man, just hone your craft and move your dance floor.
That's what's happening. Hey, so listen, we done ran up out of time, man. Oh my God. I definitely got to get you back in here.
Appreciate you,
Sooner
man.
than later, man. I appreciate you.
For real.
I appreciate you. Definitely, man. Definitely. You have definitely become one of my big brothers in this game. And I appreciate all the talks, the advice, and just the hangouts we've had, whether it's for long term or short term. I appreciate it all.
Oh, and one more thing. Please stay humble.
Guys, too.
Misconceptions about me. Some people think, he this, he that, ego, this. I've been known to seek out the person that felt some kind of way about me, just so I can
Have
show
a
them otherwise.
conversation.
Have a conversation. First of all, I want to know why, how did it happen,
Got it.
and I want you to get to know me.
Yeah.
I want to get to know you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? I mean, it's called misconception because we ain't had no conversation.
Right.
So let's have one.
Absolutely.
Let's sip on something.
Shout out Love Corkscrew. Shameless plug. Hey, so listen, we finna get up out this piece, man. Hey, listen, it's been an absolute ball and an honor and a pleasure to talk to one of Chicago's legends and giants, man. This is Drop the Beat Podcast. I am DJ Wildchild. We out of here. Y'all love on y'all people, love on y'all safe, love on y'all self. Take care of y'all self. Take care of your people. And until the next time, I will holler at y'all. Peace.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. We have something hip that we want to present to you.
Yo, sound man, turn it up.